Welcome back to another edition of the Gan Emunah, Garden of Emunah. Continuing along on page 124 under Measure for Measure, Midah Keneged Midah. The rabbi is building up to all the reasons that we have troubles. And of course, this is more than just a reason, this is like a rule in life in general. The way the Hashem reacts towards us and the way that the world runs in a what you give out will come back, because midah keneged midah. The way we act is the way we'll get back later on. For example, a person now has troubles with his kids and they're acting up and they're being disrespectful. Well, derech klal, if you look back, we weren't so perfect children. We were also disrespectful to our parents, and therefore we have now, in whatever we did wrong, comes back to us. That's just an example. Also, a person has a canker sore, he has whatever. We can imagine it has something to do with the mouth, maybe lashon hara. So we have to understand that the midah keneged midah is a tremendous chesed and a gift from Hashem. We have examples from the Torah. Let's say Shimshon HaTzadik, right? Shimshon HaGibor, Shimshon HaGibor, he ran after his eyes, he wanted certain things that he was homed. In the end, the Pelishtim pulled out his eyes. Avshalom was the son of David. He was very, very meticulous about his hair, and it had to be looked good. Well, in the end, he was hung and was killed by his hair. It was wrapped around the tree as he was running away. And then we find that by Miriam, the exact opposite. She waited for Moshe Rabbeinu, so all of Am Yisrael waited for Miriam. It's the way the world works. The world works in the midah keneged midah. And it's an unbelievable, tremendous chesed from Hashem of midah keneged midah. Because we don't have to now try to figure out what he's talking about. If he's hurting you in a particular area, well, that's the area that we need to work on. If a guy's eyes are hurting him, well, maybe he looked at something he shouldn't be looking at. And if a person is, it doesn't make a difference. You could make up whatever the issue is hurting you. That's the first place we look. What did I do wrong with this eved? What did I do wrong in this area? What's the midah keneged midah? It's very, very simple. Now we'll give you other examples from the Torah. There's a Gemara of Rav Huna where 400 of his barrels went sour. So his chaverim came over and said, maybe you should see why this happened. So he was slighted at first, and he said, what, am I suspected of doing avonot? Whoever has something to say, speak up now. So they responded back to him, and does Hashem make 400 barrels go into vinegar for nothing? Meaning that you're gonna now pin it on God that he did it for something for no reason? Of course not. So therefore, he said, he looked in his ways and he made teshuvah, and they told him what he did wrong. Now that he was willing to listen, right? Because first you have to get happy and you have to know that it's all of Hashem. And that's what they told him. They gave him the emunah to be able to be makabel now. So what happened? This is the story. He went and he wasn't paying his sharecropper. They're not paying your guy. So, but he's stealing from me. So of course I'm not going to pay him. He's already eating it all. Why should I pay him? So they explained to him, but stealing from a thief, you're getting the taste of, and you're tasting and you're having that ta'am of thievery. We don't want that. And he accepted upon himself, and you know what happened? Well, there's two different versions in the Torah, in the Gemara. One version is that everything went back to wine. And the other version says that all of a sudden, magically, the price of vinegar went up, and he made a very, very large amount of money, and it was all good. We have many, many examples from the Torah. Additionally, we find by Yosef HaTzadik, midah keneged midah. What happened? Yosef HaTzadik spoke about his brothers in 3 different ways. 3 different times he brought a report to his father. So Rashi tells us over there, what were the 3 things? Evim and Ahai, and that they were calling his brothers avadim. And the third thing is that they were that they were suspect for illicit relations. And three things, he was also punished. Every minahai, his clothes were taken and dipped in blood, even though he was alive. And a slave, he ended up being sold to be a slave. And number three is that he was the Mida Keneged Mida in these relations that now the wife of Potiphar was now very involved over there. So all these three things were affected him. And we find by Yaakov, for 22 years he wasn't with his parents, he lost Yosef for 22 years. We find by Yehuda, he was the one that actually dipped the blood in the izim, in the blood of the izim, the clothes of Yosef HaTzadik, he dipped it in the blood. And later on, Tamar was the one that embarrassed him, or not embarrassed him, but proved him wrong with but this is your clothes, buddy. This is the izim that you were supposed to send me for the maaseh. And he was taken aback, everything. Shimon was the one that said, let's put Yosef in the pit. Well, guess what? He was put in the pit in Mitzrayim. So on and so forth. We have all the stories, and another one very important about when the brothers left Yosef and they had the goblets and all the money back in the thing, and they were suspected of fictitious stealing. Why? Why did they have to go through that? Why? Because Hashem wanted to miramis them. You need to make teshuvah for the made-up story you made about your brother Yosef. So in both sides, it's a very, very good thing, and so it could help us. And the way we act towards Hashem and the way we act towards people, Hashem will act towards us. It works in both ways. But wherever we fall and wherever we do, it's Mida Keneged Mida. It's because we initiated. We initiated. So this is the rule. Mida Keneged Mida. There's tons of examples of Mida Keneged Mida.